Hey, good afternoon, guys. It's Scott KD5NJR here, and I've got a minute or two kind of free in the afternoon, and I want to show you a little bit about APRS. What I specifically want to talk about here is a piece of software called UZ7HO, and that's a modem that listens to the chatter to and from your ham radio and your laptop. And that's how in APRS we're going to identify ourselves and send messages. We're also going to listen to messages and position reports and other stuff from other hams. So let's switch over to the desktop and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so now we're looking at UZ7HO, and this has a waterfall and a text display. You know, if you just want to make sure that your station's working right, you can just see what kind of chatter is going to scroll by here in this window. So we'll take a look here and see if anything points out at me. Here's a good position report from our Keatonville digipeater. Digipeater or Digi, you know, kind of takes the transmission from one station and relays it so that more people can hear. Here's another good report from a weather station in Inola. This is the position report here. I don't see any weather data in that particular APRS frame. By the way, these are AX25 frames for the technically inclined folks. Here we go. We were in the right part of the hour for me to send out the automated bulletins from my station. Here you can see that I advertise Jeff's net Monday nights, his voice over internet protocol net. We have Ron's net on Friday, his youth at heart net, the Saturday night simplex net, and then Roger County's fusion net. You know, I advertise those, and here we can see that those frames have been repeated by our Keatonville digipeater between Owasso and Claremore. So there's a good indicator right off the bat that my station's in working order, because here in South BA I'm being received on Keatonville Hill, which is a great repeater. And one more thing here. Here is another position report from the model airplane flying field. Those guys are out east of Broken Arrow on 71st. We've got a minute or two more, so what the heck? Let's take a look at a piece of software called UZ7HO. I like it as a map. You know, you can let this guy run. I have the context here switched pretty wide. I have it set to all, so I see moving cars, digipeaters, stations, weather stations. Here we go, 71 degrees at that model airplane flying field I talked about. But usually how I like to leave this is not in all, but in RF. And this lets me kind of see the folks that I'm hearing direct. My antenna is not up real high, so I suspect to see just a few cars kind of in my local vicinity, and then our major digipeaters, one in Mounds, one here on Shadow Mountain in South Tulsa, and then in Keatonville. So I'll switch it back to the studio. And like I said, we're going to keep this one short. It's kind of a test run here. 15% of my CPU, 30 frames per second, coming up here on 4 minutes. So we'll see how this works and if this will post to YouTube correctly. We'll talk to everyone later. 7-3 from KD5NJR. Have a great afternoon.